It's risk on, baby. Everything's right on track. All of our predictions been coming true the last few months. We did 2 days ahead of CPI. We did take a little bit of risk off the table because that's the prudent thing to do. But remember what I said? Remember what I said about no Fed meeting in September. We got midterms coming up. We have now employment hot last week. Now today we have CPI coming in light at 8.5 versus 8.7, and that's month over month, no inflation, flat. Okay. So if you look at the charts, we've been talking about the 200 DMA. I think the 200 DMA is in play. So that's 340 on QQQ, and I'm going to go with the same thing on SPY. Of course, things can change, right? And also things don't go straight up, but that's the view I'm holding right now. It's the view I had since a few weeks ago when we kind of called the bottom. Man, it was the week when CPI came in hot. It was a month ago, right? A month ago, CPI came in hot, but a couple days prior, there were good reactions to bad earnings. I don't know if you remember that week. And that was when I called the bottom on QQQ and SPY. A bottom, not necessarily the bottom. We're not going to call the bottom until 6 months after the fact, okay? So everything is coming in the exact way we want it to. And it's risk on. And you can see that in pre-market today. That doesn't mean there won't be volatility. It doesn't mean you chase here in pre-market. It means that stocks can trade on their own merits. And it also means that risk assets are going to do particularly well here with now expectations of interest rates going down for next month from 0.75% to 0.5%. That happened this morning after this data came out. So that's going to be good for your growth companies, your unprofitable companies, your speculative companies, your microcap companies. All that's going to be great. So look at this. It's going to be a sea of green and so many catalysts to go through. First up, Tesla and Twitter. Elon Musk disclosed he sold a whole bunch, like $7 billion of Tesla shares. So why is it up? Well, it's up. You got to get the whole story. It's up because on Twitter, someone asked him, "Are you done selling?" And he said, "Yes, I'm done selling. I sold those shares in case I'm forced to buy Twitter," right? So number one, his done selling, the stock was already up significantly in pre-market ahead of the CPI. Now it's up even more, and that's why it's up because you can see the pressure the last few days was all Elon Musk. That was him selling Friday through Monday. I think it was Friday, Monday, maybe a little bit Tuesday. So these 3 red bar, these 3 days of down was Elon Musk. He didn't get, Tesla didn't get the tailwinds in that move from the Inflation Reduction Act, and people were probably confused about that. Now they have the reason why that selling pressure is away and Tesla goes up. And of course, Twitter is up because of those actions he took and those words he said, right? If he's taking these actions to raise money and is saying, that shows he doesn't have great confidence in the outcome of the court case and he thinks he's going to have to buy it. So Twitter's up, and it's up like pretty good over the 200 DMA. You can see there 44 with a 54. I mean, this thing might get bought out at full price, $54. So that's the story there. Celsius earnings last night. We had the call in after hours last night that the support was in the 88 to 93 zone. 93 is the gap bottom on the day after the Pepsi report. So I was banging the table last night in the VIP trading room that this is a good entry for Celsius. And you can see this was already up again before CPI. So, and they beat earnings, by the way. It was a great report. But more importantly, it's all about forward-looking valuation and what the Pepsi deal means to the company. And the market is telling you it's worth at least $93 after the Pepsi deal. So that's why that was support. And that's so far working out. All right, continuing to look at LIACF. This is Inflation Reduction Act play, domestic lithium. I still own it, got in. I tried to get in at 2 right after the news, but it was so illiquid. I think by the time I got in a full position, my average was 219. We're at 237, and 200 DMA is my target, up near 270. Kodak crushed earnings last night. Listen, there are no analyst expectations for this, no analyst estimates, okay? But they had significant sequential increase in both revenue and profit. In fact, they flipped to profitability. I think it was $20 million net profit if they adjust that, adjusted net profit was 7 million, because I guess there were some other items that you could take out of there, but still they flipped to profitability quarter over quarter in a very tough macro environment with rising costs, with fears of recession. So guys, that Kodak pulled that off. So I actually I took a little bit off the table yesterday, and I bought it right back. Was able to get in at the same price I sold it at. So that's pretty cool, man. And now with the CPI, this thing has legs, and the RSI is not that high. So I'm excited to see what Kodak might do today. DRIO finally came out with their PR for their earnings Monday morning. So now we can start seeing an earnings anticipation run. Beyond that, I posted several nuggets in the DRIO research room that people have found on social media, that I pulled off of social media, which strongly suggests that big news is coming, and also it bolsters that speculation that big news has to do with Aetna. So that's going to be interesting. Take a look at the DRIO research room to find out about that. PET starts trading today. Well, it's down this morning, so we'll see what happens with that. This is total risk trade, not the normal stuff I invest in at all, not the normal trades I do at all. It's just trying a D-SPAC. This is a D-SPAC. It begins trading today. This was CHWA. They ring the opening bell on NASDAQ at 9:30. It's a low float, but not as low as we initially wanted. Not 280,000 shares. It's going to be around 3 million shares, but about 2.7 million of those shares, that owner is dedicated to selling that at prices at above $10.30. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'll get out of that. I'm down big on it right now. Made a mistake, I guess, but we'll see. Maybe not with this D-SPAC business. All right. That was just for fun. PRCH, my gosh. Look at this. They had earnings the other day. I don't follow this company intimately, but it just caught my news scanner here. Cantor Fitzgerald. That's a respectable outfit. They put an $8 price target on this. That, like, you never see that. That's like 4 times where it was trading a couple days ago, and still pretty much 225. I mean, 3.5 times where it was trading at when that press release came out this morning. When the news came out this morning, $8 price target, huge, and you can see it's up 11%. So this one is worth watching. Lots of stuff today and going forward in the next few weeks, if we are moving this towards the 200 DMA, where you buy the dips. Chasing usually not a good idea, but you can put these things on your watch list, and things with great catalysts. You want to look for intraday pullbacks. Rockley, unbelievable news yesterday. I think it had an initial reaction which really confused me. I got in, it went down. I started worrying about an offering. I got out. I did a little more research, and I discovered that I was worried it went down, because here's what they got. They got their first production scale order for their watch that measures the blood glucose and biosensors. I think other things it does besides blood. And so what happened was, I was worried, hey, maybe this means they got to raise money, because that reaction didn't make sense in the morning. So I got tricked out of that. I did some fundamental research in the afternoon, and I discovered they do have enough money to take them through this production in 2023. So a kind of unexpected offering is not actually on the table right now. So now you see in the afternoon yesterday, it went up. Now it's up this morning. This is the type of stock that should do very well with now lower interest rates, not, lower than expected, 0.5 next month, 0.75 risk asset. They're not making money yet. So this one could have a big move. I did get back into that yesterday as well after I did that research. Not a huge position, but maybe it should be. All right, we'll see. SIGA, we're continuing on that monkeypox play. I think everything, my thesis on it, everything is still solid, fundamentally sound. Everything makes sense there. Not too expensive, I don't think. XSPA, just threw it on a watch list because someone in our community mentioned, and I think they're right, that this could become a monkeypox play, and perhaps it's been going up because of that. By the way, this is a zero EV right now. They have as much, their net cash is about 90 million. It trades at 90 million. So this could maybe make a move to 120. Don't have a position now, but that could definitely move. Got lots more news, lots more things to go through. CZOO, this is one I'm not very familiar with, but we talked about it the other day. Akil gave us some updates on it. Still, they're losing money hand over fist. This is like a Carvana type company, and but things are going in the right direction. And then look at this upgrade. Berenberg switched from sell to buy. That's pretty cool. I can't remember the last time I saw something switching from sell to buy with a two. Now there's a $2.33 price target, so not as impressive as Porch with Cantor, which was a 4-bagger. They're saying this could be a 2.5-bagger or so, and you can see that's up 7%. Don't have a position, but maybe it's something we'll buy on pullbacks. SFET. Company out of Israel with a little bit of good news this morning. $4 million in non-dilutive financing. I'm not in it. I'm probably not playing it, throwing it out there, putting it on a watch list. We'll see what happens. Air has just been incredible. It's up this morning because of the market. Oxy, we're monitoring that after Warren Buffett got in. I did not buy it. I said yesterday, I think maybe I'll buy it, sell covered calls. I didn't get into it. I just want to have a little cash for CPI this morning. SMSI earnings are tomorrow. Again, we had tomorrow after the close. We had a great meeting Monday night. Can't tell you much about that. If you're a VIP, go look at the recording. All right. CVV earnings on Monday. Again, we had a VIP presentation on that Monday night. Take a look at the recording. VTSI earnings, again, tomorrow after the close. Again, this held up the support levels. So this is going to be interesting because we have another earnings report for VTSI next week, 3.5 weeks. There's not going to be a CC for VTSI tomorrow. That'll come next week, I believe next Thursday. XXII, a little bit surprised it's not up with everything else this morning. I really like the conference call. It looks like they got a lot of momentum in what they're doing. It looks like they have enough cash to execute for the time being. So I added a little bit more shares yesterday, and I'm comfortable with this. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns around and at some point in the next couple of weeks makes a move to 225 of the 200 DMA. GOEV, this one did not work out because I told you I got really upset. But we'll see what happens. Again, it's risk on. Hopefully you'll get a chance to sell this for a profit, but obviously they're not making money yet. Some traders disappointed at that. They had false high expectations, which they shouldn't have had. I knew that would play out like that, but I didn't know. I didn't have it on my radar. Earnings was yesterday, so I failed to sell that before earnings, which is exactly what I would have done if it was on my radar. Fuel Cell, this is one of those Inflation Reduction Act plays. I'm actually still in this. I'm holding this. Plug and Fuel Cell were a couple of the ones I bought along with LICF. I did end up selling Plug, though, but I'm holding FCEL and LICF. Those are the two that I'm still holding from earlier this week on that Inflation Reduction Act bill that's going to be passed by the House of Representatives later. So that's looking good for continuation. BCRX, again, this is a VIP presentation we had the other night. Great presentation by Zach. Looking good along with everything else. So if you want to take a look at that, make sure to upgrade to VIP member so you can take a look at that. PLAB, I just want to point out this bounced off the 20 DMA yesterday. Love those DMAs. And now off to the races again. RSI spiked down to 55. Might have been low enough to continue now to the upside. When is the earnings report on this? This is odd because August 23rd. Okay. A little bit late. One of the latest ones I've seen. I think most of them report by August 15th. I don't know what this August 23rd is about, but anyway, I'm holding that for earnings. I'm going to hold that right through earnings. RELL, another Inflation Reduction Act play, but I did flip that for a quick profit. I did the trading shares. I have a core position, and this is just a solid company. It'll make its way up and get 52-week highs eventually. Or LUCD, and management's coming to us later this month. Earnings are August 15th. So we're going to be continuing to learn more about LUCD, cancer screening company, in the coming weeks. And we're looking at SMR, Rewalk, all this good stuff. Let's see what else. UUUU, big morning, huge bids continuing this morning. What is that? Hold on. 44,000 at 705. There was someone at 35,000 at 698 this morning. I don't know if there's news here or this is just a reaction to the market because it's sold off and now it's coming back. I don't see news in the feed, but this is massive. I do own this. Happy I do. Domestic uranium company. We talked about that this could get some tailwinds also because of that Inflation Reduction Act. And all right, we're right up against 915. Oh, man, I want to mention Potash. I picked the wrong one. IPI does not taken off the bottom. It has not had a secondary run. but its peer, much larger peer, CF, has explosive, beautiful chart. Looks like it's heading to new 52-week highs. It got an upgrade this morning with the price target to 120 from Barclays. So, yeah, it's unfortunate the whole sector is not going up. It's just CF. Moss is doing better, though, but not as good as CF. And then IPI is just a loser in the room. So I don't own any of them right now. I bailed on IPI because I didn't get the price action I wanted. But maybe I should have been looking at the leaders there instead of the laggards. CF, the largest company, MOS on. That's a lesson we've been learning in story trading a lot these last couple of years is the larger companies tend to do better than the smaller companies. Smaller companies, odds are against you. It's not easy, man. It is not easy to get a micro cap to do a 10 bagger. We got it in air, but it's not easy. You got probably a good idea to have a mix of larger companies as well as smaller companies in your portfolio. So listen, at the end of the day, to wrap it all up, looking at QQQ again, holding its pre-market gains. This to me is risk on. Nothing has changed from the story I've been talking about for a few weeks in terms of all the positive tailwinds. And I don't see why we can't test the 200 DMA, but that's subject to change every single day. New data comes in every day. There's geopolitical things going on in the world, and we reserve the right to change our opinion and modify our predictions on a daily basis. So you got to keep up with the news. But for now, it's an all clear, and I'm basically fully invested. I do have a little bit, a few percentage that I sold yesterday that I didn't reinvest. I was waiting for the CPI, and I may do that this morning. So, guys, it's hopefully time to make some money. And don't forget on the way up to take some profits. Know what you own, know what's riskier, what's safer. The ones that are riskier, you want to take some off the table as they rise. And really, for me, totally interested in how Kodak does today. Can't wait for DRIO on Monday. Maybe I'll get lucky with PET and LICF, hopefully nearing a sell point for me here at around 270. So, guys, if you have any questions, let me know throughout the day. If I haven't covered anything you want me to cover, we'll do that. But great collaboration by everyone in the community. We'll continue collaborating with you guys in the chat rooms. If you're not part of the VIP community, head on over to StoryTrading.com. You can upgrade and join all the fun. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for joining.